Hey everyone, I have an awesome topic for you guys today, and it's going to be all about creating interaction on social media. I recently polled my group, and this was one of the top things that people said they wanted to hear more about. How do you create interaction? How do you get out there and start making posts and not just have crickets? This is one of the big things I hear that people get really frustrated, like posting on social media, not getting any sort of interaction, not having anyone like your posts or comment on your posts, and then wondering if what you're putting out there is good. Like, is it good content? Are people interested? Maybe I don't have something good to say, and then really getting into that cycle of self-doubt. And what I want you to know is a lot of times you just don't really know how to create that engagement, and there's a lot of different things that you can do to really boost your engagement, boost the people that are seeing it, and the people that are interacting with your content. So I'm going to go through that today. I'm going to give you some steps that you can take. So whether you're just getting started and you haven't really gotten out there on social media, or if you have been posting on social media but you haven't been getting the interaction or the results that you really want to be getting with the people that are following you, I'm going to give you tips that you can start implementing right away that are going to make a huge shift for you. So what do you need to do to create engagement on social media and get people interested in your content? So there's a couple things. I'm going to walk through 6 different things, and I want you to go through these things in your business and see if you're doing them. See if you're doing this when you post on social media. It's going to make a huge difference for you. So number 1 is knowing your ideal client and who you're speaking to and what it is that you help people with, so that you can create content that is specific to this, okay? I know I talk about ideal client all the time, but it's super, super important when it comes to growing your business online, okay? Do you need an ideal client if you're going to grow your business totally in person? Not necessarily, because you can help a lot of people with a lot of different things as a coach or as a health coach. But when it comes to marketing, you absolutely need an ideal client online. Super important. If you start talking about all different things and you don't have a specific focus, it's very hard for people to interact with your content, and it's just so general that people aren't really connecting with it. So the more specific you can get, the more people are going to connect with your content and they're going to interact with it. Okay? So super, super important, that ideal client. And really understanding how to speak to your ideal client from a marketing perspective. So from their perspective and what they're struggling with and how they see it in their eyes. This is a huge thing that I teach all of my clients, something that is confusing for a lot of us when we're getting started in a business, because we haven't really been taught the mindset of marketing and how to convert our message to the perspective of marketing that works for our clients. And so once you understand how to be speaking in the language of your clients and speaking in a way that's going to get them interested in what you have to say, it makes a huge difference. You're going to see a huge shift. So the other thing is making sure that you're making content, like high quality content that people want to interact with. You have to give them a reason to want to interact with it. Either you want it to be really inspiring, really educational. Those are kind of like the biggest things, like super inspiring, super educational, maybe shifting their perspective on something. But if you're just putting out content that's just kind of blah or not really like getting people excited, then you're going to have a hard time getting interaction with it. So you really want to be creating that high quality content, and a lot of times content that's new or unique. And so it's important to recognize, like, what is unique about what I have to offer? Why is it different than maybe what people are already seeing it? And really bring that into your content. So for example, like a lot of health coaches, I think in particular, get stuck in this cycle of like posting recipes or something, like pictures of them with green smoothies, and like all that stuff can be great and it can be inspiring, but if you're not posting content specific to what it is that you help people do and the problem that you solve, nobody's going to know why they should work with you. They're going to be like, okay, great, I'm going to go to, your website to find some great green smoothie recipes. but they don't really know like why they should sign up to work with you, what it is that you can help them with, what problem it is that you solve. So keep this in mind when you're creating content. It's gonna make a huge difference. So really keep the focus of your content around the problem that you help solve, okay? All right, so that's number one. Number two is making sure that you are you speaking to your ideal clients? Like, is it your ideal clients who are following you on social media? So if you're posting on, let's say, Facebook, and you don't have many of your ideal clients following you on Facebook, and you're posting about your ideal client or what the problem that your ideal client has, then you may not be getting a lot of interaction because the people you want to be speaking to aren't actually following you on Facebook or wherever it is that you're posting, that you're not getting interaction. So this brought up another question that you guys were saying that you had, which was around like, how do I get new followers, or how do I grow that audience? And that's like another topic, so I'm going to go into it like very briefly. So there's two options, which are either organic marketing, which is just by people kind of organically happening upon you or finding you. And a lot of times that can happen if you are getting a lot of interaction, but if you're in a place where you're not, it's hard to get new people finding you, okay? So the other option is paid marketing. And this is a big thing that I teach my clients because it allows you to get in front of your ideal client and to start to build up that following wherever you want to be posting on social media. So it's really, I would say the benefit of paid marketing is it's efficient and you can get it in front of your ideal client and it doesn't take a ton of time. So just knowing that you have those two options. So if you are one of the people that's asking like, how do I build that audience? I recommend using paid marketing online because I think it's so much more efficient. The other thing you can do is go and engage in other people's like Facebook groups or engage in other people's like Instagram feeds and stuff, and just know that that's a lot more time consuming because you're having to go and like interact and create connections there and then bring people back to your own community. Whereas if you're using paid marketing, you can just, there's like a system in place, you can just bring people back to your community. So just knowing the two options, not saying one, you have to do one or the other, but you know the benefits of each. Okay, so that was number two, making sure that you're speaking to your ideal clients, building your community with those people. Number three is sharing where you are seen organically or where social media has a tendency to boost you more. So more people are seeing it, so you're gonna get typically more interaction. Which what I'm finding right now, and this is always changing a bit, but where I find that my clients get the most organic engagement, so that means where social media is going to naturally push your post out to more people, is in Facebook groups, which is why I always have all my clients create a Facebook group, because your business page, Facebook just does not push stuff out there. Like, it's very challenging to get interaction on your business page unless you have a huge following. So that's why a group is beneficial. The other one right now that I'm seeing is Instagram stories or even like Instagram live. So Instagram feed used to be good, but it's died off like a lot. And so stories have become kind of like the big place where people are getting interaction now. So those are two of like the big places I'm seeing right now. If you want to get more of your followers seeing your content, those are the places where I'm seeing the best to post right now. Okay. And like I said, that's always kind of changing as social media evolves. So posting where people are seeing you. 3, or where you get that organic reach. Number 4 is having a call to action on all of your posts. So if you just post something and you don't tell people to take some sort of call to action, it's very hard to get interaction on it because you're not telling people what you want them to do or what you want them to talk about. So you want to make sure that you have a call to action on everything that you put out there, all of your posts. So one of the big call to actions is to have people to sign up for a free consultation with you. You always want to be sending people to a free call or a consult with you as opposed to trying to send them to your program or like a program page. You want to have that conversation with them. So that's a big call to action. The other one, if you really want to get engagement going, is you want to try to get people commenting and liking your things. So you want to ask people a question. So like I could ask you now, like, is this all making sense to you? And if it is, give me a yes in the comments. And I will tell you, like, personally, this is not something that I have always been the best at doing. But if one of your things is like, I want to get more engagement, you want to give people something easy that they can do on some sort of post that you have. So it could be like that, like, give me a yes in the comments. Or some of the other ones is like, give me an emoji in the comments that explains, you know, how you're feeling right now. Or what is your favorite book or podcast or whatever. Questions like that are super easy for people to answer is going to give your posts more engagement. And then the more engagement something gets, the more people are going to see it. So that's definitely one of those things too. So wondering, do any of you guys do that? Do you use those types of posts? And if you do, let me know. Is there ones that you have found most effective for getting people engaged? But those are kind of the big ones. Like people do, hey Crystal, like the super easy ones for people to interact with. And so for a lot of my posts, I ask more of questions like, does this resonate with you? Or do you find that this is showing up for you? And truthfully, like, those are questions that are a little harder for people to answer. If you give people a question that is super easy to answer and it's just like a yes or a no, or like I said, something that's favorite to them, or giving a GIF or GIF or whatever you call it, like those are really easy for people to interact with. It's just going to push, then it's going to push your posts up more in the algorithm. So that's just something to play with. And yeah, definitely something to play with and see what works really well with your target market. Hey, Dania. Okay, so let me see what else I had. The other thing is you could tell people to like DM you or message you. That's another call to action. Like send you a message if they're interested in a call. But of course that isn't giving a comment in the post, so it's not pushing the post up as high in the algorithm. The more interaction you get, the more people liking it, the more people are commenting on your post, the more it's gonna Facebook or Instagram or wherever you're sharing is gonna be like, this is good content, and they're gonna push it out to more people. So you just wanna make it easy for people to interact with your content. Hey, Dania, thank you for the wave. Okay, so another one, and I just recently did this in my Facebook group. I did a poll and I asked people, I didn't do a poll where they like selected what option, but I did a poll where I just asked people, what topics are you interested in? I'm going to do some videos. What do you want to hear more about? And this is one of the topics, but that gets people interacting and commenting as well. So asking people what they want to hear more about, what are they interested in? What are they getting stuck on? And you can actually ask your community that and then make topics or make posts, videos, whatever on those specific topics because they're telling you what they're interested in. And then generally those topics are going to get more interaction because people said they wanted to hear about that. And you can also say, hey guys, you said you wanted to hear about this topic. I'm going to do this video or do this post on this topic. So definitely come and check it out. Okay. Because you're really interacting with them. Okay. So number 6, and this is the last one, is reaching out to your community. So whether this is on Facebook or on Instagram, those are like the 2 main ones that I use, also on YouTube, of course. But reaching out to people who have interacted with your, interacted with your content. So when I started my business, my Facebook group was one of the things that I used in the very beginning. I made a effort to get to know every single person that joined my group in the beginning. I would send them a message and say, hey, so-and-so, so glad you're here. Would love to get to know you more. Let's set up a time to chat. Something along those lines. I made an effort to get to know every single person and to talk to them on the phone or over Zoom, however you want to do it. But it really helped me build those connections with people, and they felt like they knew me. They had more of it gave them more of a reason to interact with my content because I actually got to know them. And they got to know me. And so they had more of a reason to be active in my group and to care about what I was posting, because they felt that connection. So whether you're wherever you're posting, when you are small and you're just getting started, small as far as like a small following, I highly recommend making any efforts you can to get to know everyone that is following you. Send them messages, say, hey, I'd love to set up a time to get to know you. You can do like a little chat with them, find out more about what they're struggling with. Like, it's really great to do this. And I find that it makes a huge difference. So a lot of times in the beginning, people are like, what do I do? What do I do? Really reach out and get to know people. The other thing is make sure when people are interacting with your content that you interact back. So saying like, thank you for commenting, and comment back and answer their questions. Like, that's really great too. Hey, Lynn, I'm so glad you made it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So those are the biggest things. So I gave you 6, just to kind of run back through them. Ideal client, are you growing your community with your ideal clients? I gave you the organic marketing and also paid traffic to grow. Are you sharing where people are seeing it? I told you, like, Facebook groups, Instagram stories are the big places now where social media seems to kind of be boosting it to more people. Having a call to action on every post, polling your community and asking them what they're interested in, and then making sure you're creating content based on that, as long as it's specific to your ideal client. Don't poll a bunch of random people and then create a bunch of random content. Make sure it's specific content to your ideal client, okay? Super important. And the last one is reaching out and making connections with everyone who is joining your community and really making an effort to get to know them. Definite game changer, and that's a great way to get clients right off the bat. So let me know if you guys have any questions on that, if you found that helpful. If there is any of those, which of those have you found most helpful? Any of those tips? Are there any of them that you haven't been trying? Definitely let me know. And if this is something that you want more support with, and you want support with each of those steps, like who is my ideal client? What is my messaging? What is my offer? What makes it unique? Why would people want to work specifically with me? How do I start building my ideal client, that community, using organic marketing and paid marketing if it's something you're interested in? Those are the things I teach all my clients. Really step by step, we go through the process, and it makes a huge difference as far as you being able to build your business and start getting paid clients. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely let me know. You can send me a message. We can set up a time to chat, and I would love to speak with you more about your business, where you're at, and how we can take it to the next level. So thank you everyone for joining me. Definitely keep me posted. If you start implementing these techniques, let me know if they were helpful and if they made a difference for you. So I'm gonna run. I'm headed to Wisconsin today to pick up my little pup, so I've gotta go pack. So thank you everyone for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Bye guys.